I was groped. Fans
Sorry,
were
that's
taking
not
pictures
funny.
with
My
me,
bad.
put their hands on me sexually and non-consensually during the act of taking photos. I don't like that this is happening. And I also think that it's pretty clear to most people, most reasonable people, that this is not normal behavior. Like, most people do not grope other people. And I don't know why it's happening to me so much in particular, but the fact remains that it is. Like I said,
what is even happening? This guy's like 70% of the viewership for this game.
I don't want the takeaway to be that this is the only issue, or that the things that I'm going to be making changes are in direct response to the groping issue. In fact, out of all the issues I'm facing at tournaments, I think that groping is actually relatively low on my priority list of things that I would fix if I could snap my fingers and make them go away, primarily because it only happens once or twice at most events. And so there are more pressing things that have a higher impact beyond just making me feel bad and kind of violated in a way. So please understand that this is just an example to give you a sense of kind of the general scope. I have another example for you, and it's less intense, but I think it also is helpful in its own way.
He's a competitive Pokemon player. He's talking about why he's going to stop going to in-person tournaments.
It comes from NAIC this year. North American Internationals this year was an interesting tournament. North American Internationals was the tournament where the tournament began on Friday, and I changed my flight to go home on Saturday. And the reason for that is because before the tournament, I don't remember if it was like Wednesday or Thursday, but I had slept on my neck weird. Like, I had one of those, it was like a crappy hotel
pillow. How do you
pillow.
sleep on your neck? Like with his legs in the air? I'm just kidding, stop.
And I'd gone to bed and I woke up and I was experiencing rather severe neck pain. For my fellow, older gamers, you probably know neck pain is extremely debilitating. And it was one of those situations where, like, I couldn't really turn my head from this angle without experiencing moderate to severe pain. So it was not a good environment to be competing in, as you can imagine. And what made it especially difficult is that over the course of the weekend, people would reach out and they would grab me, not sexually, just regularly, right? But they would often grab me from a place where I could not see them, from like over my shoulder or something. And by instinct, when I am touched by a stranger, I would turn towards the stranger, and in doing so, it would cause my neck to spaz out. And so this happened, I don't remember the exact number, I was not really keeping track, but I know it was over 10 times. Over the course of one day of competing, people would reach out.
Well, I'm so curious. I went to a lot of MLGs and stuff, and I feel like and those are strictly gaming events. I think a DreamHack or two, maybe. And then obviously like some Twitch cons. I feel like I've never had this happen. It's very rare. What's going on at these, like, are these like trading card game events? Is it like a thing that happens here more than any other place? Even as a guy, I feel like I'm not getting grabbed or having people randomly touch me.
Reach out to get my attention, right? It feels, I think, to most people normal to be like, oh, I know that guy. Let me go ahead and grab him, right? Like, you would reach out and touch a friend. Except that for me, I don't know these people, and they're strangers, and it made my life so difficult at that tournament that I decided that I couldn't continue having my neck spaz out, and so I changed my flight home to Saturday morning. And I left the tournament after a single day of competition. I was eliminated, by the way, just that's important context. I didn't leave while I was still in the tournament, but having been eliminated, I just like couldn't deal with people.
He's the biggest celeb in the game. Literally every nerd there knows who he is. Okay.
Continuing to touch me, continuing to make my neck spaz out. And I understand that, or I guess I should say the reason why I give this example is because I think that it's a much more understandable action, right? To reach out and, like, touch someone on the shoulder or on the arm or whatever. And like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing it in a vacuum, but at scale, and especially when there are other things going on, it can become quite distracting and quite problematic. And I would say that these two examples are indicative of kind of the two types of issues that I've been facing at tournaments. The one being people perhaps not understanding normal social norms, or of being too aggressive, or I don't know, like just violating boundaries in some way. And the other being of people behaving normally in a vacuum, but difficult to handle at scale. These two types of issues got so bad at the World Championships this year that on the finals of Worlds, on World Sunday, I felt that I had no choice except to leave the venue. I just wanted to be there and to watch the finals in person in the crowd. And yet things got so difficult for me that I had to leave. I understood that there was no way I was going to be able to have any semblance of a positive experience if I stayed. And so this year's World Championship finals, I watched in my hotel room, and it was a uniquely bad feeling. I'm gonna move on from this because I could talk about examples all day, but I don't think that's helpful. Hopefully, I think the people who will get it have gotten it, and the people who won't are never gonna get it. So I'm gonna move on. Just a little interlude here. I want to talk about how this has affected me. In general, I consider myself to be a very low stress and low anxiety person, and in fact, pretty much the only area where I ever feel any stress or anxiety is at a Pokemon tournament. And I think because that like stress and anxiety while competing can be so intense, all other feelings of stress or anxiety or whatever pressure just feel really like nothing burgers in comparison. So I'm willing to bet that I have a significantly lower than average level of stress compared to, like, I'm below the median or whatever. And I mentioned that because after getting home from a tournament, this is pretty much true across the board, it takes me about a week before I go back to feeling normal. And what I mean by that is it takes me about a week before I can go outside my house without having my heart rate spike and without feeling pretty intense anxiety. Because normally when I'm at a tournament, when I leave my, the safety of my hotel room or wherever I'm staying, that's when I have to start being on guard, because that's when some of the challenges start. And even when I'm home from a tournament, it still takes me about a week before I can go back to feeling normal. I don't know what your perception of me is. I don't know if you perceive me as a relatively normal guy who deals with problems in relatively normal ways, or maybe you perceive me as someone who really overreacts. I don't know. But if you think that I have a relatively normal reaction to most things, then perhaps that piece of information is indicative to you of some of the ways that things have been affecting me. Maybe you think that I'm just dramatic, in which case it doesn't really matter. Okay, more importantly than just, coming home and having some extra stress and anxiety for about a week, the big thing is that it's been making tournaments less and less fun to attend. And I love competing and I love attending tournaments, and having these issues that have become not the rarity, not the exception, but a constant battle that I feel I am fighting, it's been making tournaments less and less fun.
Has he taught? I'm not trying to take away anything from what he's saying, because I mean everything sounds pretty reasonable so far. Has he complained to? Is it Wizards of the Coast? Is that still a real company, or any of the tournament organizers? I wonder what's been said or what's happened insofar as them doing anything for this so far.
And also,
it's just Nintendo. Okay.
It's worth noting that as tournaments have grown, my tactics that I've had for years to deal with a lot of this stuff have been rendered ineffective. They are no longer effective at handling a lot of this behavior, which, you know, because I've been dealing with it for years, albeit at a smaller scale, I think I'm actually quite good at it. The first thing I would always do when I would attend a Pokemon tournament is I would find a hiding place, like a little nook or a cranny somewhere where I could go to and I could be out of sight, and so I could just have a little bit of privacy and peace and quiet and not, you know, have to deal with a lot of the stuff between rounds. Because it's worth noting that even though at a Pokemon tournament, most people see me as a YouTuber or an influencer or whatever you want to call me, I'm there to compete. I'm not there to do fan interaction. I'm not there to you know, be hey guys, let's be the YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like, I go to tournaments because I love competing, and while I also enjoy meeting fans, it's not my primary reason for being there. And so when I'm at a tournament, it's been my goal to focus as much as I can on the actual aspect of competing. I'm not saying that, oh, I shouldn't have.
Did anybody ever implement this idea? I thought this would work for like streamers or influencers. Oh, Jesus. Or even like girls or guys at events. Like the armband thing, where like if you have a red armband on, it means don't touch me, don't talk to me. A green armband on means like I'm here for, like, fans can interact with me, I'll take pictures or stop and chat. I don't know what the yellow one can mean. If you're really hot, you can say, I don't know. But there has to be some way to communicate this. I'm surprised that no convention has come up with a way to communicate this to people yet. Furries do that with their fursuits. It's super effective.
Do any fan interaction because, like, obviously I understand that I do have an online presence and I am an influencer, right? Or whatever you want to call what it is that I do. But the balance has been way off. And where I'm going with this, like, I've lost my thought a little bit, but where I'm going with this is that I had ways of dealing with this stuff, and that I would go to a tournament and I would find hiding places around the venue, often outside of the venue, because a venue is basically a big rectangle. There's no hiding places at most of them. So my strategy for years was to show up, find a place like close to the venue that I could go into a little nook and hide with my friends between rounds. We'd have a little meeting spot. But the problem is that tournaments have gotten significantly better. Tournaments that were once getting, you know, struggling to get 50 entrants or 100 entrants are now getting close to 1,000. And therefore, the venues themselves have gotten bigger. And so it's no longer so feasible for me to go find a place to hide outside of the venue because I need to walk so far in order to find a place that has some privacy that I'm not able to make it back in time for the next round. This is an explanation for those of you who are wondering, by the way, that I never talked about before, about the 2024 World Championships. Some of you may remember if you watched that video that there was a bit of a plot twist where I found out I was going to be playing when I was not expecting to play.
Who the fuck is going to go with a free grope armband on? Well, like if I'm walking on the floor of some convention, I don't mind like taking pictures or talking to people. Like I might not be like at a fan meet and greet stand, but I don't mind if someone's like, oh, hey, are you Destiny? You want to take a picture? That's fine. But there are other times where like I need to go from point A to B and I would wear the red armband. Like I'm moving, like don't. But I also feel like shit because sometimes people are like, oh, hey, can I take a quick picture? It's like, I can't. Because if I stop and take a picture with you, then everyone else, it's just, and people are gonna get mad if I say yes to you or no. It's like, just don't, I can't right now, right? So I feel like there would be a purpose for this, no?
And I wasn't in the venue at that time. And a lot of people were like, well, why weren't you in the venue? And this is why, because I wasn't able to be in the venue and also feel like I could focus on competing. And so I left the venue in order, like between rounds with my friends, to find a hiding spot that was like a 5-minute plus walk away. And therefore, when things didn't go to plan and suddenly I had to be in the venue when I didn't realize I was playing, I ended up being very flustered. I had to run back to the venue. It took me forever because of an unexpected kind of thing here. I'm moving on. I don't think that was like exactly as well explained as I would have liked, but I'm determined to make sure this video is not 40 minutes. I'm at 12, so maybe I can keep it under 20. That's ambitious.
33-minute video.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
There's more to this video, but I want to talk about the in-person changes first, and then we're going to talk about some of the online stuff, because there's also some online changes as well. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm not doing a Worlds video this year, and the reason for that is relatively simple. I don't want to. Doing one of these big tournament videos forces me to relive the weekend over and over and over again, and it's to a point where I started dreading both Toronto and EUIC, which were 2 tournaments that I won, because those videos were such big projects, and like reliving them over and over and over again at a certain point, just like, it just made me want to be done with it. And in the end, I like,
oh no, not my fallen king. He's looking for his crown on the floor that he dropped. Oh no.
Do not have you for the upstairs list.
Okay.
Oh no.
Can I see your ticket type?
Oh, I'm staff. I was escorting him.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you're
So we can't
escorted?
go upstairs.
So they're not on the list for upstairs?
I do not. But do you have this wristband? I can also just check in the chat.
Well, so I thought those could go upstairs, no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I can double check and just make sure
Upstairs
on my
just
end.
more seating area.
Yeah, I just wanted a drink. I'm good.
I didn't even want to see Mamdani. Is that where he's at, the Mamdani party? I just wanted to drink, bro.
Just so I can.
Or here.
What was your name? Sorry. Michael. Okay, great. Let me just make sure on my back channel. That's okay.
No. We got no motion, chat. We got no motion.
We're washed. We're washed.
Fell off. Check the stream. It's okay.
Stop whispering in the microphone, Marsh. They can hear you.
I'm just coughing.
What is this?
In the primaries, and then still had to continue fighting in a crowded field with the president of the United States of America.
Oh my God! Now he's the number one.
Talking about
the number one Mamdani Blazer
from New York that were previously allocated. A lot of very wealthy and very powerful people are terrified, I think, and it's really interesting because what Zoran Mamdani has represented as an outsider's perspective is a guy who's putting working class people first in his campaigns. And the very fact that that is so terrifying that you have the likes of Stephen Miller, Donald Trump, Bill Ackman, Elon Musk, numerous billionaires in the United States of America. This scared, this worried is really interesting to me. It's like, why are you so antagonistic to offering people some modest change, a crumb of affordability, a modest expansion of already existing social safety nets? Why is this so hard to fathom for so many wealthy people? And I think it's because they want to destroy hope. They want to destroy hope within the working class that a better tomorrow is possible, because they do worry. And I think some members in the media as well play a formative role in this process to make sure that people are fearful that if the working class is united, they might be able to advocate for their own best interest.
Can you talk a little bit about what Zoran's victory would mean for the pro-Palestinian movement from his perspective?
I think
The pro-Pali movement.
the pro-Palestinian position was a third rail, an untouchable part of American politics for far too long. And I think that's another reason why a lot of people feel threatened, even though Zoran Mamdani advocated at the time boldly for the majority position. This was already the position that he advances is the majority position that many Americans and the overwhelming majority of Democrats also agree with. And yet, for some weird reason, we don't see that in Washington, D.C. And I always ask myself, why? I talk to politicians all the time. I say, what's going on? I mean, the overwhelming majority of your base of support are very clearly recognizing right from wrong in terms of our seemingly unconditional loyalty to the state of Israel, a foreign nation that demands billions and billions of dollars in weapons transfers, and then also ends up interfering in our domestic affairs as well in terms of anti-BDS legislation that they advanced in 38 different states in the United States of America right now. I mean, this is a direct violation of the First Amendment. And for some weird reason, this is like a not ever discussed. And for the first time ever, a lot of Americans did actually realize that this was a significant problem for them. So much so that I think they rewarded a politician that came out and said, I want to be a mayor of New York.
What do you do about music volume in events such as that one? Do you like having your hearing destroyed by relentless bass banging? I'll bring earplugs. I remember I did it for my little sister's graduation. It was a long time ago. But I'll bring earplugs to shit like this. I don't appreciate it. I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's funny. And I don't give a fuck if somebody calls me a pussy. I'm not going to be sitting here at 40 years old. Oh, I can't hear you. Especially when it's not even good music. Like, I'm going to blow my fucking ears up. I at least want it to be for shit that I enjoy listening to. Like,
It was sick. Okay. I'll figure it out if I can.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. Take my number. Text me if you need anything.
Wait, here. Put it. Don't say it out loud.
Are you guys streaming live?
Oh yeah, we are.
remember the Idaho stream where you left the house because the music was too loud? Oh, maybe. House parties are always it's just stupid. They just jack the amp up to 11. I'm not here for that. I'm good. I'm good on that one, Chief.
You guys streaming live?
Oh yeah, we are. But we're not showing anything yet. But there's 72,000 people watching.
Oh, great.
Currently.
Oh, 72,000.
It's out of focus. There we go.
They're just watching the ground.
Great.
If
All right.
I also have a team member at the box office that's in the interior. That might be one of the
That's okay. Yeah. I think we're good. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Are there drinks here or no? Oh, we can get drinks here. All right, perfect. What do you want, March?
I don't drink while I'm working.
You're such a fucking liar. You do ketamine while working. I mean, allegedly. Hello. Hi.